Uh, in skating and graphic design and art, you're always going to have the critics and people trying to analyze what you're doing, and you can't listen to that. You have to just trust your own gut. In my work, I never knew what a lot of the rules were in graphic design, so I just did what made sense to me, what felt right. And I think then other people said, "Oh, you're breaking this rule," but I think you can do that in your skating too. It's take that in your own direction, and maybe it's just a way you bend your knee or hold the board, whatever, the way you dress. It's all a personal expression, and that's what's great about skating and great about graphic design and art and maybe life in general. It's nice. Oh, it really came out good. Hi, I'm David Carson. I'm a graphic designer and an artist. I'm here at the skate park and a Skatopia event and a little exhibition. And first time I really seen my work up on the walls, and it's been really special. And even to be out this time of day is so nice. And then you see the changing colors on the wall, and met some of the skaters who I featured prominently in the work, and that was kind of cool. And yeah, the first time I came here to kind of get a sense of what was going on, it was kind of a little bit difficult at first to kind of get my I don't know, such a little hard to grasp what exactly where are we, and it was a bit farther out of the city than I first thought. And now when I come back, it's green and beautiful and amazing. This area plus the park itself is so well done. And then as a little bonus, I get to see my art everywhere, and so it's pretty special. I can't think of one thing that is. I would say, is my big inspiration lately, but it's just kind of everywhere. Somehow when I go back, the work will be influenced by some of the experiences here, maybe some of the people, some of the lighting, some of the way the reflection hit the images, and even the type. So yeah, no, there's a lot of. You can be inspired anywhere, anytime. It's just a matter of being open to it, being in the moment, and realizing that this unique perspective that only you have, and maybe that works its way into your work. Not directly, but it could be direct, but probably more indirectly. Something you see, something it registers, and so it's all part of the experience. Happy place, I would say, is not necessarily a place, but wherever I'm really involved in the project I'm working on. If I'm really, which is how I work, I get very involved in my design work and my artwork, and all of a sudden hours go by. So I would say that state of mind, something you're excited about working on. You have my music going, I'm in my space, and wow, 4 or 5 hours later, it's like, oh, I didn't eat. Oh well. So that, yeah, physically, I'd say the Caribbean house and property, and then, yeah, and the other place is really more a state of mind. I'm just totally in the moment when I'm working on a design project, or surfing for that matter. You have to be. Yeah, it's important to recognize those places where you feel calm and good and creative, and make sure they're a big part of your life. Well, I think I was fortunate to grow up in Southern California around the surfing and skating culture, and that put me in a mindset, I think, of maybe more experimentation or creativity that I might not have gotten in another place in the country, and that I don't think it directly influenced the work, the fact that I surf or skate, but it puts you in that environment where things are a little maybe more experimental, a little more freedom. And I think, it's hard for me to imagine, what was the surf style. If anything, you can sense it a little more with the skate style, the graphics and the graffiti and that sort of thing. But I think once, I redesigned Surfer magazine, and I think at some point the other advertisers started kind of copying what we were doing, or at least going in that direction. And then that became more the norm. When I first redesigned Surfer magazine, a lot of people were really upset. They got a lot of hate mail because their magazine was different. There's something about the shock of the new that gets people upset. And then a couple months later, a few issues later, it was gone, no big deal, and people adapted. But so I think it's a little bit of both. I was in an environment of surfing, skating, later snowboarding, which is fairly experimental, fairly, experimental and creative. And that's the environment I grew up in. And then I discovered graphic design. And so my mindset was probably a little more open to different things and exploring than if I had maybe, been born or raised somewhere else.